morning students. Now in this class we are going to talk about structures. So structures, what is a structure, how we are going to represent a structure, and at the same time what is a union, what is the difference between structure and union, and at the same time what is a command line arguments, and along with pointers concept. Okay, see, first of all, what is a structure? Generally, a structure is a collection of data items of different data types that are referred under one name. Okay. See here, what will happen is, if you take one student data or employee data, see, a student may have student roll number of type integer, and at the same time student may have name, that is character, and at the same time student may have marks, a float type. In order to represent all these three different data types under one name, then we are going to use the concept called as structures. At the same time, if you take the one employee, okay, employee may have employee name, it is of type character, employee ID is of type integer, employee salary is of type float. These are the three different data types. If you want to represent the three different data types in one place under one name, then we are going to use the concept called as structures. In C, there are cases where we need to store multiple attributes of an entity. Okay, it is not necessary that an entity has all the information of one type only. Okay, it may have different attributes of different data types. Okay, see, a structure is we can say it is a user defined data type which contains the collection of data items of different types, or we can say a structure is a collection of different data types which are grouped together, and each element in a structure is called a member. Then in C, if you are going to take the concept of structure, it is, we can call it as a user defined data type. It is by using this we are going to store the collection of different data type. So in this one, each element of a structure we can call it as a member. In order to represent the structure, we are going to use the keyword called struct. Totally we have 32 keywords are there now. So among those we have one keyword, that is struct. Why we are using that keyword? In order to represent the structure. So if you see the syntax of a structure, we are going to use the keyword struct, struct name, structure. Now we can say structure name. Okay, structure name is one of the name given to a structure by the user. Again brackets, that is opening flower bracket. Again data type member 1, again data type member 2, data type member 3, and so on, data type member n, and at the same time closing bracket followed by semicolon. Okay, here struct is the keyword. It tells the compiler that a structure is being defined, and at the same time we can say here tag name or structure name. Structure name is the name of the structure. Data type is nothing but it is any valid data type in C. Here members are now member 1, member 2, member 3, and so on. These are the members of the structures. Okay, again if you see one example related to the structure is struct employee. Here the structure name is employee, opening bracket, int id. Okay, id is int is one data type, id is one member. Again character name of 20, char is another one data type, name is member 2. Again float salary, float is data type, again salary is again one more member type. So here if you take employee, in this employee we have three different data types. Okay, in order to represent three different data types, we are going to use the concept called as structures. Okay, this is one example. See here, if you see the memory allocation of an employee, okay, how much memory is allocated for a employee of type for a employee of different data types is generally here we have, if you take the integer occupies 4 bytes. Again character occupies, generally character occupies 1 byte. Here we are going to take maximum 10. Okay, so 10 bytes. Again float occupies 4 bytes. Okay, see, if you see the starting address is 1000, again 1004. Here employee, in this struct employees, integer id, here identifier for identifier we are going to allocate how much memory? 4 bytes. Why? Because integer occupies 4 bytes. Again, second data type is char name of 10. I am going to take name of 10. It means generally character will occupy 1 byte only. Here maximum size is 10. So a character occupies 10 bytes. That is 1004 to 1014. Totally 10 bytes. Again, float salary. Okay. Again, this data type. This float is of type 4 bytes. Okay, so plus 4, that is 1014 to 1018. Okay, here this employee will have the memory of totally 18 bytes. Okay, if you want to store the employee details, that is integer id, character name, float salary, we are going to need 18 bytes of memory. Okay, again after that we are going to represent one variable, that is employee, emp. Okay, just we will see what is a variable, how we are going to declare variable. Okay, see here a declaration of a structure variables. Okay, so how we are going to declare a structure variable? There are we have two ways to represent the structure variable. Here first one is when we declare a variable for the structure, so that we can access the members of structures easily. Okay, see for example, if I want to access the id, when after declaring a variable it is possible. Okay, if I want to access the name without declaring a variable, I can't access the name. Okay, see here generally we are going to write the structure syntax above the main function. Okay, by struct keyword within main function. Okay, by declaring the variable at the time of defining the structure also. Here there is one way of representing the declaration of a structure is, first of all, structure name, that is structure name is employee. Again data type and different data types and different numbers are int id, char name of 20, again float salary, again bracket close, again semicolon. Okay, here in order to represent the employee, I am going to take one variable. Well, I am going to take one or two variables. Okay, why? Because if I want to access the members of a employee, okay, for that one I am going to take variables, that is here struct employee e1 e2. This declaration, the variable declaration should be right within the main function also. Okay, this is one method. Okay, here e1 e2 is there now. This e1 e2 are the two variables of a structure name employee. Why? Because why we are using these variables? If we want to access the employee details, that is identifier, employee id or name or salary, by using these variables only we can access. Okay, here the major thing is, in this first way of declaration we are going to declare the variables within the main function. Okay, in the second way I am going to declare the variables within the structure syntax only. Okay, see if you see here e1 e2. Okay, after closing the bracket, okay, after closing the bracket, before the semicolon ends, I am going to declare the two variables, that is e1 e2. Okay, here the syntax itself, within the syntax only I am going to declare the variables. This is the second this we can say time of defining structure. Okay, this is the second way of representing the declaration of a variables. Okay, if we have a variables, if you want to access the members of a structure, we are going to use two operators. Okay, that is a dot operator, or we can say member or dot operator, and the second one is pointer operator, that is the arrow. By using these two operators only, we are going to access the members of a structure. Okay, then next we are going to talk about unions. Okay, see what is a union. See, like the unions is just like as a completely structures, but there is one small difference between structures and unions. Unions in C language, it is also a user defined data type that is used to store the different type of elements. In this union at once, only one member of the union can occupy the memory. In other words, we can say that the size of the union at any instance is equal to the size of its largest memory. The thing is, if we take the structure along with union, okay, see in this structure I am going to take one name, structure name employee, char x. Okay, here x will occupy 1 byte. Why? Because character. into y. Okay, here y occupies 2 bytes. Of course, integer occupies 2 or 4 bytes. Again, float z occupies 4 bytes. So, what is the size of the employee e1? Okay, e1 is the variable which is used for employee. Okay, e1 is 1 plus 2 plus 4. Why? That is totally 7 bytes. Whereas if you take the concept of union, what I am saying is it will occupy the largest memory of a member. Okay, that is union of employee. Okay, carry x occupies 1 byte, y occupies into y occupies 2, that is 2 bytes, float z occupies 4 bytes. Okay, here e1, the size of e1 is 4 bytes. Why? Because here among the three members, among the three data type, it will occupy the highest memory. Okay, which will have the highest memory float. Okay, float occupies 4 bytes. So the size of e1 equal to 4 bytes. Okay, whereas what are the main advantage of union over the structure is it occupies less memory because it occupies the size of the largest memory only. Okay, see, if you take structures, the size of the employee e1 is 7, whereas in union the size of employee e1 is 4. Okay, so this is the major difference between such structure and union. Okay, same just like as a structure, we are going to declare the unions also. Okay, here we are going to use the keyword called union. Okay, that is union name, again data type member 1, the same data type member 2, again data type member 3, and so on, data type member n. Okay, see, example is union employee. Here employee is the union name. Okay, integer id, int id, again char name. Okay, float salary. Okay, the representation of the union is the same as the structure. Okay, here if you take the again student. Okay, union student. Okay, that is one more example. Okay, student means here union name is student. Okay, for the student we have roll number and a character and a marks also. Okay, same. If you want to represent the different data types in one place, we are going to use the concept called as unions. Okay. The next one is command line arguments. Okay, what is a command line argument? Why we are going to use this command line arguments? Generally, it is possible to pass some values from the command line to your C program when they are executed. The values are called command line arguments. Okay, command line arguments are important for our programs, especially when we want to control our program from outside instead of hard coding those value inside the code. Okay, the command line arguments are handled using main function. For that, we need to change the main function syntax. Okay, here what is meant by command line arguments? The arguments which are passing from command line, we can call it as a command line arguments. These arguments are handled by the main function. If you want to represent the command line arguments in main only, for that one we are going to change the just structure of the main function. Okay, that is int main, or we can say simply main. Within the brackets we are going to write the arguments, that is into argc comma char star argv. Okay, it is the array type. Okay, here argument vector, argv is argument vector, argc is argument count. Okay, here argc is argument count. It counts the number of arguments passed from the command line. Okay, what about argv, argument vector? It contains the name of the arguments passed from command line. Okay, at the same time here, if you take the argc, it counts the number of arguments. Now, along with it counts the file name as a first argument. Whereas if you take argv, it contains total number of arguments. The first argument is the file name always. Okay, you should remember these two things. Okay. Here one more thing is the command line arguments are separated with space. Okay, whenever we are representing the command line arguments, we are going to use this space. Always first command line argument is the file path. Okay, at the same time only string values can be passed as command line arguments. That means whenever we are working with command line arguments, we are going to pass the string values. All the command line arguments are stored in character pointer array called argv. The total number of command line arguments including file path argument is stored in a integer parameter called argc. Okay, so it is a command line argument. So next concept is a pointer. Okay, see what is a pointer. Generally a pointer in C language is a variable. Simply pointer is a variable which can store the address of another variable. Okay, see here this variable can be of type integer or character or array or function or any other pointer. The size of the pointer depends on the architecture. Okay, see the pointer may be an integer or it may be a character or it may be array. Of course the size of the pointer depends upon the architecture. However, in 32-bit architecture the size of the pointer is always 2 bytes. Okay, here one simple example to define a pointer which stores the address of an integer, that is int n equal to 10. Okay, int n equal to 10. See here what will happen. Here n is a normal ordinary variable. Here int star p equal to ampersand. Here star p is a pointer variable. To declare a pointer variable, we are going to use the operator called star. Int star p equal to, generally why we are using ampersand, to represent the address only. Okay, the star p equal to ampersand n, it means in star p is a pointer variable. In pointer variable we are going to store the address of n. Okay, for example n is stored in memory, that address is some 10000. so what about star p? The star p will contains the that particular address. Okay, see next one is declaring a pointer. How we are going to declare a pointer? The pointer in C language can be declared by using the star symbol, or we can say asterisk symbol. It is also known as indirection pointer, used to dereference a pointer. Okay, generally if it is a integer na, int star a or int star b. Okay, star a is a, here star a is a pointer variable, star b is a pointer variable, like no char star c. Here star c is a character variable. Okay, like that we are going to represent, we are going to declare a pointer variable. Okay, so here if you take one example, here p is a pointer. Generally a pointer may contain the address of a normal variable. Here normal variable is 50 na, that is one number. Okay, of course that address is ff4. Okay, of course the pointer variable which contains the address of normal variable. Okay, see if this p contains ff4, it means the pointer variable will contain the address of the one variable. See just now we have said the same thing only. Okay, next one is it is one example, program to illustrate the pointer. Okay, here header files. Okay, then after header files we have main function. Okay, again I am going to take one number, that is 50. Okay, then I am going to take one pointer variable, that is star p. See, then star p is a, here star p is a pointer variable. Then p equal to ampersand number, it means it will store the address of a number variable. Okay, see at the same time that simply after that I am going to print the address of p. Okay, here p contains the address of the number, therefore printing p gives the address of a number. Okay, at the same time again I am going to take one more printf. Okay, this printf will contain the that is in printf value of p variable is percentage slash and comma star p. Okay, just now we have said na, star is used to dereference a pointer, therefore if we print star p we will get the value stored at the address contained by the p. Okay, that is star p means fff4, that means it address only. Okay, so this is one of the sample program that represents the pointer concept. Then again in pointers we have pointer to array, at the same time pointer to functions, pointer to structures. Okay, we are going to implement the pointer concept to an arrays. Okay, just like as if you want to implement to array, generally first of all we are going to represent the array int a array of 10. Again I am going to declare the pointer variable, that is int star p of 10 equal to ampersand arr. That means it is a pointer variable. Star p of 10 is a pointer variable. Here variable p of type pointer is pointing to the address of an integer array, that is name is arr. Okay, at the same time pointer to functions. Here void show int. Okay, it is a function declaration. Okay, at the same time void store p int equal to ampersand display, that is here pointer p is pointing to the address of a function. Okay, at the same time pointer to structures. Okay, here I am going to use the structure called as st is the structure name, int I float f. Here ref is the variable that are used to access the structure st. Okay, again I am going to use this struct st star p equal to ampersand reference. Okay, here star p is the pointer variable which is used to store the address of the reference. Okay, in this way we are going to implement the pointer concept to the structures also. Okay, then what is a double pointer, or what is a pointer to pointer? Okay, generally a pointer is used to store the address of a variable in C. Pointer reduces the access time of a variable. Whatever it may be in C, we can also define a pointer to store the address of another pointer. Such pointer we can call it as a double pointer, or we can say pointer to pointer. Okay, the first pointer is used to store the address of a variable, whereas the second pointer is used to store the address of first pointer. Okay, so if you see here, totally address and value. Okay, let's this will shows the double pointer, we can say a pointer to pointer. Here the first pointer, second pointer and variable. Here what will happen, the first pointer is stores the address of the variable, whereas the second pointer is used to store the address of first pointer. Okay, the syntax of declaring a double pointer is int star p. Okay, instead of one star we are going to represent two stars. Okay, here pointer to pointer, which is pointing to a integer type. Okay, so this is regarding pointer to pointer. Okay, so these are the concepts we have covered in this class. Okay, the concepts are here, what is a structure, how we are going to declare a structure, why we are using structure, and at the same time how we are going to access the structure, and also what is a union, what is the structure of a union, see what is the major difference between structures and union, and at the same time what is a command line arguments, how we are going to pass the command line arguments, and also what is a pointer, how we are going to represent a pointer, and also pointer to pointer concept. Okay, so all these are covered in this class. Okay, thank you.